I'm new to trading. Where do I start? My There's a lot of stuff on the internet, and I think most people go down that vortex when they kick off. And I just think it's a little bit nervous because you're reading information about something that's really quite important and quite technical, written by someone, honestly, quite frankly, who doesn't really know what they're talking about. What I like to suggest to people when they're new to trading and they really want to have a good crack at it, there are two very, very good books. One of them's called Trading for a Living by Alexander Elder. It's That book is pretty much 200 pages of risk management. Um, Alexander Elder was a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I always get those mixed up. My wife, who is a psychologist, she says that psychiatrists can prescribe drugs and psychologists can't. She says that's the difference. But he was a psychiatrist or a psychologist that had a practice on Wall Street. So he found a lot of his clients were stock traders who came into him with the same sort of problem. So he specialized in that area. He surveyed a lot of guys and learnt a lot about trading, became a trader himself, and deals with a lot of the common psychological issues about risk management and about placing trades and fear of placing trades and the yips and all that sort of stuff. That's book number one. Book number two is one that I like by Curtis Faith called The Turtle Trading Method. I could do a whole 1 hour on that one. That's it's a reasonably old book. I think Wikipedia has a pretty good entry on the turtle traders. That system is a little bit dated now, but it's a very good book for learning the components of a system. It was when it was released, it was Richard Dennis's system who traded futures, and it had a lot of information about how to place stops, how to place take profits, how to fan into and out of trades using ATR, which is the average true range, position sizing, all of that sort of stuff is wrapped up in that book. I honestly think that if you read those two books to start off with, you're probably ahead of at least 80 or 90% of people who don't. I think that's a really good place to start. Question number two, what time frame should I trade? Now, that's a very personal question, and it really depends on what I like to say, how much time and how much mental capacity do you have for your trading. So if you're someone who can only trade when they finish up from work before dinner time, you probably don't really want to carry your positions overnight. That kind of time for us in Australia is early to mid Europe. It's a good time to trade because the markets are moving and it's interesting. But in terms of time frame, I think you should be looking at the daily, the hourly, and the 15-minute charts for that sort of period.